So let's get down to it. This is my second season review. My third season will be coming momentarily. I'm going back through and watching it so I can get the info. But this second season, let me just tell you, there are certain seasons in a television show where it reaches a peak. Arrow did in its second season. And for me, Hannibal crushed this second season. The second season of this show is amazing. So things and stuff happen in the first season, and we start the series off with Will in the infamous Hannibal chair and locked in the mental institution that Hannibal would later be locked in. And a bunch of stuff happened. I'm not going to tell you, but we set up, and Hannibal is consulting with the FBI because Will is obviously being accused of murdering people and has been called the Chesapeake Ripper. So, what can I say? My pros are everything. This series tightens its visuals and it focuses on one storyline, and that is Will being accused of these murders and trying to get himself free. And then what that means for Hannibal, Lawrence Fishburne's detective, Jackson, and what that means for the person he loves, which is a psychiatrist, Dr. Bloom, and these relationships that happen. And also we get a look into the fact that Hannibal is not just this bloodthirsty killer, but you start to see that Hannibal, in a sick way, wants to have friends, and that he feels lonely, and the reason for him starting to reveal himself is to build these relationships. In his sick, twisted mind, he is infatuated with Will because Will can empathize with how he feels, because that's his thing. My cons are virtually nothing in this season. There is not one slow episode. There's not one episode I watched when this premiered where I wasn't on the edge of my seat. There's a lot of revelations. There is so much that goes down, and that's probably why this is going to be short, because I don't want to spoil it. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch this show immediately. It's only a 12-episode show, and this thing builds all the way until the ending. The series final is probably one of the best series final there has been on television, because this was before Breaking Bad. So Breaking Bad took it, but this was it for me before Breaking Bad's series final. This final, how it happens is so boggling, but I'll give you the setup. In the first episode, they show a scene between Lawrence Fishburne and Hannibal Matz, and they get into this fight, and you see them fighting with a knife. And let me just tell you, Lawrence Fishburne puts up a hell of a fight. Remember, he's fighting Hannibal Lecter, and in the previous series, they showed you him fighting a serial killer, and Hannibal, like, can handle himself, but there's a lot of things that happen. And Lawrence Fishburne is fighting with so much rage by the time you get to this point. I mean, like, this fight is nearly, like, that close. And then they show Lawrence Fishburne in a closet with a piece of glass in his throat, bleeding, making a phone call, and they cut. And you don't see that scene until the last episode, where they play the whole day's events and then how you got to this point. And my goodness, the thing that Hannibal does by the end of this series to set you up for the series final, you will watch this and your mouth will drop. Main characters are killed. There are shocking revelations. Things that you thought were taken care of come back, and it all boils over. Like, if you watched this season and just ended it, you would think it was the end of the show leading into the movie Hannibal. And then you got season 3, which does a beautiful job of continuing this story. So, overall, this is an amazing season. Every killer was unique. There were a lot of good, unique episodes, and each killer's arc, or their little appearance, always has something to do with a truth that is revealed to either Will or Hannibal. And it builds to this emotional climax by the end of the show. And it is just amazing to see it all to come together. I've never seen television written like this, where there is such a big payoff at the end. Like, you will watch the last 2 episodes and your mouth will hang open. Like, by the time you get to where you're at, you want everything to go a certain way, but it just doesn't. It all... wow. Anyways, overall, do I have any cons? No. Even the filler episodes had a purpose. They developed the characters, learned lessons, and brought them closer to this climactic battle. And when you watch it, binging, it makes a difference, because you follow it all the way through, and you're like, wow, you see the progression of things getting building, and then bam. I mean, honestly, if you haven't seen this season, and you don't know, you're on the fence because maybe you watched the first season and it took... watch the second season and then go back through, and it'll all make sense. Because you can honestly start at the beginning of this second season and be completely taken in. Especially if you're a fan of Silence of the Lambs. There's a lot of nods, a little Easter eggs. This touches all of the mythology. This is how you do a show in a universe. Like, Fuller built this universe, and I swear to God, if Akiba Goldstain or any of those people from the Trek universe come and infect this, I will burn that to the ground. No, disclaimer. Anyways, this is a great show. This really cemented to me the work that Fuller can do and the storytelling that he's able to tell. It's cleanly shot. The dialogue makes sense. Threads from the first season are all tied up, and the climax is one of the best on television. I give this season a 10 out of 10. This is perfect television. This is Breaking Bad level television. This is like seasons 2, 3, 4, 5 of Breaking Bad. Like, perfect television. Game of Thrones seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 style television. And it was so underrated. Why do all the good shows get canceled? But anyways, in the comments below, let me know, have you seen the second season? What do you think? Are you a fan of Hannibal Lecter? Who's your favorite psychopathic serial killer? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, remember the only rule here in the fandom zone: kneel before General Zod.